Since the dawn of time, our drive for a better life now draws the map of our future. And Sofia Tech Park is the home of innovation. Business, science, and education feel at home. The laboratory complex of the park is the cutting edge of progress. Total of 11 high-tech laboratory units, led by luminaries of Bulgarian science. Innovation is the focus of all the startup companies in the business incubator. Sofia Tech Park is home to dozens of young Bulgarian enterprises with a high-tech profile. Sofia Tech Park is the home of innovation.
Good morning and welcome to our digital edition of GrowBalkanBreakfast. It's a pleasure for me to be some kind of host to this event today. We have prepared a dynamic program. We have participants from few countries, and I'm eager to share and to open discussion to our partners and potential collaborators on new projects. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our partners from Serbia. This particular event is dedicated to partnership between Serbian and Bulgarian companies, businesses, and all organizations that have interest to expand and to seek value and opportunities in these two markets. Let me just introduce a small part of what I'm talking about here, and because I'd like to talk about big pictures, let me share this with you so I can have kind of a ground to put the things on a solid ground, and then we continue with our participants and different topics. So when we're talking about businesses and expansion and partnerships, most of the times our discussions lead to nowhere, or we get lost in execution of our ideas. But I tend to explore examples that are already present, examples that are already somebody somewhere already did something on collaboration, and I really like the model that Scandinavian countries have succeeded to accomplish for so many years now. As you can see, even the flags look similar, and even though all of the countries keep their unique culture and language, they tend to call themselves Scandinavian countries. And as a comparison, we have a great challenge ahead of us, just because we are, as you can see, we are in population, we are double the Scandinavian countries, and our GDP is 1/3 of the GDP of Scandinavian countries. And what is special for them is that they all look alike in status and standard of living, and they all tend themselves to talk about how big and good they are when they are united. And this is very interesting on many levels, on cultural level, economical level. When you open an office in one of the Scandinavian countries, you have actually opened an office for the whole of Scandinavia. So this is another interesting part. And until somebody is already thinking about how wrong I can be regarding Balkans, I really don't want to talk about economy here. I really don't want to talk about politics because this is a very tricky topic as well. I would like to talk about opportunities. Opportunities about innovations, about collaboration, about partnerships, mutual benefits, knowledge share, and on top of this, how we can develop our policies in order to succeed in all these opportunities. So I have invited here a couple of my friends, and let me give the floor now to Mr. Alexander Angelov, who is head of Office of Trade and Economic Affairs at the Embassy of Bulgaria in Belgrade. So he can share some welcome note, and also to apart from delivering the welcome message, he can also share some of his experience already exploring Serbian markets and companies. Mr. Angelov, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Marinov. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Greetings. First of all, I would like to congratulate the colleagues from Sofia Tech Park for organizing this event, and to thank you for inviting me to take part in what I believe it's a great platform, which will bring close together and brings close together all shareholders that include also science, business, and the state institutions from Bulgaria and Serbia, with the idea to establish a close cooperation between us in developing a good business environment, while we exchange best practices to implement our different ideas and projects, with the purpose of developing our economic cooperation and making businesses from both sides of the countries grow together. I would like also to say dobrodošli to our Serbian colleagues. Apart from that, I am situated in Belgrade, so it's kind of like I'm on your side. So anyway, I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I just wanted to present what the Office for Trade and Economic Affairs, as part of the Ministry of Economy of Republic of Bulgaria, is doing in order to assist businesses from both sides to collaborate and to develop with the idea of general purpose of developing our economic and trade cooperation between our two countries. So in this regard, I have prepared a brief presentation, which I would like to introduce some of the aspects of the work of the office that are related to the activities of the businesses that are interested in developing their projects in both markets. So apart from the intergovernmental cooperation of the office between the two countries, the office assists businesses from both countries to develop their business initiatives by giving consultations, while working close together with the representative authorities that have connection with the regarding ideas to be developed. So the idea is that the office assists in popularizing Bulgarian and Serbian companies and their capabilities, with the purpose of implementing the trade, production, investment, and financial activities within the Bulgarian and Serbian markets. So in general, the office, what it can assist different businesses that have interests in working in the markets, is to help establish business contacts in both countries and sectors of interest. And also it can provide information for the different upcoming trade fairs and exhibitions and other business events in both countries that can help popularize their activities and find the partners that they are looking for. Also, the office can provide you with the different market, legal, and regulatory information on the different sectors of interest also in both countries. Keep in mind that all this is done in close cooperation with all the institutions, as I said, that uh, in have to do with the different topics and the different ideas that want to be developed. Also, another part that may be of interest is that the office can assist the different parties in their investment plans, meaning that, for example, for the Bulgarian legal entities that are interested in investing in the Serbian economy, together with our Serbian counterparts here, we can assist in following up and helping into developing implementing also their investment projects. For Serbian legal entities, which are interested in the Bulgarian economy to invest, the office, together with the ministry of which it's part of the economy of the Republic of Bulgaria and the Bulgarian Investment Agency, it can provide the necessary assistance and the following up of the implementation of different projects, and also coordinate and maintain the relationships with the potential foreign investors. So, with two words, we are here with the idea, and as Mr. Marinov well stated, the idea is to develop our close cooperation in order to flourish our economic activities and to develop them. Thank you very much for your attention. Feel free to contact me for any further information that you may need or to discuss your ideas into developing them. Different markets. I've put my contact details. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Marinov and Mr. Mladenov, for inviting me. And I wish this will be a start for a flourish cooperation and exchange of ideas. And I'm interested to hear the different parts that counterparts that want to state their exchange their ideas and experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Angelov. It's a challenge and opportunity, of course, for all Bulgarian companies to expand and to grow. And the logical outcome of all this is that they find really close partnerships in the neighboring countries. This is like a natural thing to happen. Now I would like to welcome another friend of mine and also a colleague in Sofia Tech Park, Mr. Nathaniel Stefanov, who is also member of the management board, who will present and elaborate on our challenges during last year or so, so we can really be adequate, flexible, and keep moving forward and supporting all of our companies, partners, and building up the ecosystem. Mr. Stefanov, the floor is yours.
Hvala, Mark. Pozdrav, moji budući srpski prijatelji. I really wished we continued in Balkan languages, but we have guests that do not speak either Bulgarian or Serbian, so this is why I'll continue in English. So I'll make a very brief presentation about Sofia Tech Park, and because the Bulgarian companies are already well aware of what we're doing, but I really hope that to our Serbian friends and counterparts this may be of interest. So I'll be really quick because I believe the discussion at the end would be of greater interest and importance. So Sofia Tech Park is the first and only science technological park in Bulgaria. We have three focus areas: ICT, life sciences, and clean energy. To be quite frank, we've been stronger in the first two fields. A lot of the companies that work here are in the ICT field. This is something which is very common for the Bulgarian industry as a whole, as well as for the tech park. And we have a strong focus in the life sciences field simply because we have a lab complex with 11 labs. I'll elaborate on this one in just a bit. Usually when we present to foreign companies from the Far East or the Far West, we try to say how great country we are, that we have one of the best internet connections out there. We have great international companies, their R&D here. But like today in my presentation, I'd like to rather stress on what are the benefits of Bulgaria that Serbian companies could benefit from, and vice versa. What are the benefits of Serbia in general in comparison with the Bulgarian ecosystem? So, for example, as we're part of the European Union, there are many funding opportunities that Serbian companies can't take. So, for example, a few years ago when 11 Venture Capital Fund was started, we had a few Serbian companies that applied for funding here and got funding. So this is still here as opportunities. This is a quick layout of our tech park. We have a few parts that I'd like to stress on. First of all, we have the incubator, or probably I'll share in just a bit, but this is how it all looks. Now, so starting off with the incubator, we have around 5,000 square meters of office space, which is specifically dedicated to tech and startup companies. We have an incubation program that has already supported more than 25 companies, and probably a good example would be we have also international companies setting in Bulgaria. For example, there's a Ukrainian company there in the food tech field. They decided to set off their business out of Bulgaria, so we supported them with getting all the documentation, the investment certificates, and now they're developing their company from here. So I believe this may be something of interest to you. We opened recently a co-working space with which you could come here and use our premises. We usually support, if you're a startup company, you could get a discount in the rent, but we try to be as flexible as possible. So what we have in our incubator, the most important thing is our incubation program, and we're about to start actually an innovator program which has the features, and it blends incubation, acceleration, and tech transfer services. We run numerous workshops, hackathons, trainings to support companies in different level of development, regardless of if you're a pre-seed, a seed stage company, or you're a scale-up. We really want to give you all the services that you may need. In addition, the thing which I would say is the most special thing of Sofia Tech Park is our lab complex, and this is what differentiates us from all the other great innovation hubs that are out there in Sofia and Bulgaria in general, and they're run by the best academic and research institutions in Bulgaria. So this is a brief overview of our labs. As I mentioned, the biotech and biopharma field is something that we'd like to stress on. We have a lab for extraction of natural products and synthesis of bioactive components. So I won't be reading, you could see it in your on the presentation, but what I'd like to stress on is that this is their idea is to make not only fundamental science but more applied science. So for example, if you're a company that like to do research in this field, you're more than welcome to use the capacity of our infrastructure and of our experts, and we will support you also on the business side. Another thing that we're very proud of is the high performance computing that is about to launch in just 3 months from now. It is part of the Euro HPC network, and there are only 8 such in Europe right now, and we believe this could be very useful for research projects or for technological projects that require high performance computing power. Also, we have an event space. We have held numerous, literally more than thousands of events, like tech conferences, hackathons, congresses, and unfortunately because of COVID, we're currently on halted, but we really believe that once this thing is over, we'll be able to host many other events. And also, we have a great park infrastructure outside. So like last summer, for example, we made a few events that were in the open air. Apart from this, a really cool feature, and it's one of my favorites, is we have, some people call it a children's museum. We call it an experimentarium. It's called Techno Magic Land, and its main purpose is to foster the curiosity in children in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we really try to address the development of technology from early on the development of children, and we work with high school students, university students, and of course then with companies. So as Mark said, we really want to explore the potential for international partnership. We've been partnering with technical park in Belgrade for quite some time, but we would like to open this to have not only this institutional relationship, but we also want to partner with specific companies and support organizations and to bridge this thing. Internationally, these are some of our international partners. You may know some of them, like the one I'd like to stress on is Fraunhofer. They happen to be the leading applied science research institution in Europe, and I'm sure that if you're interested in commercializing and internationalizing your products elsewhere, we'll be more than glad to help with whatever we have. This is probably, you haven't heard of many of these companies, but we have startups from different fields, starting from biotech, like for example Printivo, they do 3D printing of live tissue. We mentioned SMIC, which are in the food tech business. We have companies that are data analytics, artificial intelligence, sports tech, like all around the place. As well, and we want to be digital partners of companies. Right now, live events are hard to be executed, so we have a nice studio. This is where we're presenting from right now, and we hold many meetings and team gatherings from here. This is what we did in the last 8 months. So if you're interested to digitalize your process, if you're an organization, we also have certain specific know-how that we'll be very glad to share. Being a tech park, this means that we work with all sorts of stakeholders, starting from state institutions, corporate sector, startups, NGOs. And I could say that Sofia Tech Park is probably one of the most appropriate partners to use, simply because on the one hand we're a state-owned entity, meaning we work with institutions, but on the other hand we try to run it as lean as possible as a real business. This is, for example, some of the startups that we have provided digital services in the last, actually not 12 months, but this is just for 2012. This is a profile of the events and organizations that we have held, and this is a kind invitation to all of our Serbian friends and counterparts. If you're interested, we'll be more than welcome to provide this service to you as well. Something else which may be interested is, right now we're presenting from Clubhouse, and it is not the mobile app that became trendy. This is an idea. By the way, Mark is the one who came up with the idea that it came up 2 years ago. The whole idea of Clubhouse is to have different clubs of interest that would gather people from different lines of, be it business, academy, or research, and have a place where they'll be able to get together, share ideas, and do something, and do activities that would lead either to new businesses or new research projects and initiatives. So we believe that tech parks should be digital all the way, and we try to do this thing as well. And this is the end of my presentation, but what I'd really like to send out as a message: we're here to support not only Bulgarian organizations but support Serbian organizations as well. I really believe, as Mark said, we're not going into politics and historical debates, but I truly believe that we can be strong only if we're working together, simply because we are small markets as separate countries. Like a lot of the investors I've spoken to, they're saying, well, it's interesting, but your market is kind of small. But if we have a strong region, then we could be much more successful. And I'm really a fan of the term competition, meaning we can compete and collaborate and cooperate at the very same time. So today, let's discuss on what are the things that we could cooperate and create this stronger region. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm looking forward to our common discussion.
Thank you, Nathaniel. I really appreciate your presentation, and while I was listening to you, apart from that I've been listening to that many times, but while I was listening to you, I was really thinking about what our Serbian friends have prepared for us, so they can really show their progress, and also to brainstorm a little bit about how we can actually be really useful both organizations. And while we were preparing this event, it was really important for us to find opportunities that really will stick to execution. Not only finding opportunity to establish and to make this event happening, but also this to be only the start for much greater opportunities and endeavors with Bulgarian companies, businesses, entrepreneurs, researchers, added value and added value economy.
Yeah, probably it's good to say that we don't like one-off events. We like longer-term projects that would have longer-term impact.
So Boyan, you here?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Hello, the floor is yours, and I'm looking forward for your what you're having to say, and what are you actually doing, guys, there in the Belgrade Science and Technology Park?
Yes, thank you. Just to check, can you see my presentation on my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bojan Milenkovic, and on behalf of the Science Technology Park Belgrade, I will present to you today a little bit more about the STP Belgrade and a little bit more about the Serbian innovation and startup ecosystem. All together with me is Jelena Petrovic, business development manager from the STP. So she will join me in Q&A session to discuss a little bit more about with you about the opportunities within the, let's say, region and between our two countries. So first of all, I want to thank Sofia Tech Park for inviting us. This is great opportunity and great initiative. So first of all, thank you, and of course, a special thanks to the Mr. Angelov for being here with us. And of course, we haven't had cooperation with the Bulgarian embassy by now, but I believe this is just a starting point. Also with Sofia Tech Park, and also all together with Bulgarian embassy here in Serbia. So, and just a little bit more, and one more remark for the Marianne. I have brought my breakfast as well. It just can be seen. So yes, I did my homework for today. So yes, okay. When we speak about the STP Belgrade, we want to, and we like to say that is the place where tech meets businesses. And also we believe that we are truly in big mission of fostering innovations, of building something completely new in the Serbian and in the region, and also about the encouraging young, talented, creative minds and people to come with their ideas and to bring their ideas to the world market. So we are in mission of helping all also innovators, but also teams and companies to bring their ideas into reality, and as well to conquer world market. So we truly believe in capability of knowledge and motivation of Serbian young talents. And of course, we believe that innovation is in the genes of our country. So we encourage creativity, we share knowledge, we chase visions, we unlock possibilities, and we turn ideas into good businesses. STP Belgrade was established 5 years ago. I will say only 5 years ago. It's first fully functional and fully operational STP in Serbia. Founders are Serbian government, Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Development, also City of Belgrade, and also most prominent and the biggest university in Serbia with more than 100,000 students, University of Belgrade. And we are having, and we had great support from this FIS government in establishing STP and our business model by now. So STP Belgrade plays a key role in the ecosystem in that triple helix and four helix model by connecting all the relevant stakeholders all together to establish like infrastructure for the collaboration and for the fostering innovation. So connecting university with industry, all together with this business sector and startups, and as well as with government and local government to make like platform for the future development of the Serbia and the region. Also, as SDP provides, let's say, development of the high-tech sector here in Serbia, also development of the innovative products and services, also employment of young, highly educated people, and maintain and make possible export growth of the Serbian country, also by fostering these international activities of the companies within the network and membership of the SDP Belgrade. So by now we have more than 70 companies here in the membership. More than 700 people are employed within these companies. Yearly income is more than 30 million euros, and we annually. That is some maybe events with the support events and some events for the students and young people, and also conferences. So we organize more than 200 events annually, and also we have had more than 6,000 event participants by now. And of course, all together with BATF, which is incubator within the, now it's incubator within the premises and within the SDP Belgrade, but before it was like initiative that started SDP Belgrade. All together with all alumni companies, we have more than 120 companies within the whole network with alumni companies, and more than 1,100 people are employed in those companies within the network. So when we speak about how Bulgarian companies can come here and engage with the SDP Belgrade, I will present you these two kind of the membership in the SDP Belgrade. So first kind is like incubation program here in the BATF incubator that I have mentioned before. So that is for the startup companies and teams. And second one is also, I will speak a little bit more further about that kind of the program, that is for the growing tech companies that want, of course, to establish maybe R&D here in Serbia. So it is intended for the SMEs, also Serbian SMEs, but also for the, let's say, startups, SMEs, and growing tech companies from foreign countries that want to open Serbian market and to come in the and let's say to take SDP Belgrade support for the further development. So maybe want to establish R&D here in the SDP Belgrade, and I will speak a little bit more about that in the next slides. Also, this is the slide with our companies in the membership. Also, it's let's say one of the biggest community of the innovation companies in this region, and as well as this is our program. So I will present some of them that is, we believe, more interesting for you. Some of the programs are vertically based, such as Imagine If or Coliseum Sports Tech Serbia, and some programs are, let's say, technology agnostic and horizontal, like growth program for the international companies and foreign R&Ds. Also incubation program and raising stars program are let's say more horizontally and technology agnostic. And also we have Park Up, this is a program for the students. But I will speak a little bit more about Imagine If and Coliseum Sports Tech Serbia program. Imagine If is our international program with Innovation Forum Cambridge. So this infrastructure and this program is intended for the Serbian startups that competes among each other and take support for this pre-acceleration program and we choose the winner, and winner represents Serbia in the Imagine If global competition. So we are very proud of this cooperation. And why I speaking this to you? Because this network and this infrastructure from this program is also important for our other companies that maybe are not early stage startups, but also growing tech companies in our network can take part of in this program, and to take, let's say, piece of the support from this program and from the network of this program for their development. So this program has great, let's say, networking within the health tech and med tech industry, and it is growing potential in this kind of the industry. So it's important maybe for some Bulgarian companies that listen to us now. And also other international programs is in collaboration with our Israel partners, with Colosseum Sport, which is most prominent and biggest sports tech organization from the Israel. So we as community learn a lot of from the Israel and from our Israel partners, and this program is built, let's say, with vision to create and to foster innovations in this sports tech vertical, and to help let's say startups in this vertical to of course to foster their and to speed up their development, and of course to enter world markets, and also to attract investors from the different countries and different ecosystems. So also it's maybe important for your companies, as I have heard before this event, some of your companies asked about this kind of the program. So also networking and infrastructure from this program and knowledge from this program is also on disposal of the growing tech companies that is in our membership. So we have built by now very big networking, and this program is recognized as one of the let's say innovation programs and leaders between innovation programs in this field into Europe. And we are second year consecutively part of the sports tech report, European sports tech report for the Europe. Also, when we speak about growing companies, so for example, one startup or maybe technology SME or scale up from Bulgaria, thinking about the maybe establishing R&D here in Serbia and thinking about the possibilities. So this is the possibility for you. This is the soft landing program for the growing foreign companies. So with this program, you can establish business in Serbia. We help you to establish your business. We also give you, let's say, a legal framework and legal and accounting support with all the, let's say, normal and usual questions, and some maybe unusual questions that is related only to you, your company and your industry. Also, we give support for your companies to, let's say, soft land here in the Serbia, and also to establish R&D or maybe department here in the premises of the SDP Belgrade. And also we give you access to talents, access to our network. So you have seen we have really big network, also industry-based network, and also here is the, let's say, like technology core of the city here with all those companies. So it's also a big networking possibility and for you to come here. And also we have here that innovative environment, and of course conference space and all the infrastructure services that comes hand by hand with these business support services that is for you. And by now we have more than 10 foreign R&D centers, of course, including companies from, for example, Switzerland, Germany, USA, Hong Kong, Italy. Also, we have great cooperation also with, for example, companies and with also partners from the DACH region. So maybe it's also important for you to hear information like this. And also we because of this traction and these more than 10 foreign R&D centers, we have, of course, knowledge and experience and know how to help you to establish business here in Serbia, and to what is important for you in that first several steps on this market. So this is just example. 3 companies, 2 companies are Serbian companies and 1 is international companies. Festo is giant in this pneumatic and automation industry. So here in SDP Belgrade, from the establishing now almost 6 years ago, Festo is a member of the SDP Belgrade, and also there is 2 additional companies as examples, Novelic and Embrain Train. We are very proud that we supported that companies from the beginning. So Embrain Train was part of our incubator 8 years ago, and they started their operations in our incubator, and now they're scale up also as member of our SDP network. And Novelic started in our premises 6 and 7 years ago, and now they're also scale up with more than 100 employees within the company. So they're good examples as technology companies that bring fantastic technology to the world, as examples how SDP and how STP's infrastructure and business support can foster innovations and their access to the world markets. So this is one of the taglines that we want to mention. So if you can imagine, you can also print it, but you can also make it. And a little bit more about the process. How to become member? We have public call, so you submit application. We also give that, let's say, formal support, how to let's say, to discuss a little bit more about the public call and about your application. And then we have, let's say, completely external committee that evaluates if your company and your application meets the criteria, and then going evaluation process. And after that, if you are evaluated positively, you become a member and you have the opportunity to join our network. So this is the, let's say, well-known and of course like international good practice with this public call. And of course here in the premises and in membership is, let's say, only companies that are building great innovations and technology for the future. And of course we want here great companies that can bring change for the future. And when we're speaking a little bit more about the growth, so this is the potential. And of course, from 2015, when the SDP Belgrade was established, this is the growth of the revenues. So we now in 2018, let's say, we hit and we have more than 40 million of the income within the network of the companies. And it's more important to say more than 60% from that income comes from the export activities. So this is our network, worldwide network. So we are trying to establish collaboration between other STPs. So we are part of the International Science Tech Park Networks and Community, AISP, and also we are also, besides that, establishing collaboration between different ecosystems around the globe. And also we are trying to, and we are helping other STPs in the Serbia to foster their development. And also SDP Belgrade supports SDP in Čačak and Niš, that is the 2 additional STPs that now started, that they are starting their operations and now coming, let's say, into reality, their visions to help companies in different regions in Serbia. So we are now establishing a network of the STPs in Serbia. So if you are asking yourself how you can join our network, of course you can become a member. I said about that. You can become a partner, become a mentor, and an ambassador of the network. And on the end, I just want to say a few words about the Serbian startup ecosystem, about the ecosystems in Belgrade and Novi Sad. This is from the Startup Genome report. So as they have seen, and of course now is booming and grooming that verticals that is connected with blockchain and gaming. here in Serbia. And if we are speaking about the potential here, so they have seen the incentives for the startups as good result, and of course some let's say infrastructure, and of course some wind towards to help startups here to grow faster. It's also important to say that Serbia has very talented workforce. So according the, let's say, cost of the workforce and in the level of the talent, it's companies abroad and foreign companies come here in the Serbia as well as in Belgrade, of course, to establish their R&D departments to take this, let's say, momentum of the growing potential here in the ecosystem. So that will I address as importance maybe for your decision to come here in the Serbia or establish R&D department. So that's it from my side. This is the our, let's say, partner network, or the closest partner network. Of course, for the next presentation, we will add also Sofia Tech Park, because this is just the beginning of our great collaboration. And that's it from my side. Thank you for having me, and of course, looking forward to this our discussion in this Q&A and discussion session to discuss more about potential and what we have seen from our example. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Bojan. So many common things, so many things that you guys are doing, and we're doing the same. So we are really establishing this communication not only to compare ourselves, but also to start the conversation about how we can really be connecting our ecosystems. And talking about ecosystem and talking about development of ecosystem, I would gladly give the floor to another friend of mine. It appears that I have many friends, but I'll give the floor to Dobry Ivanov, who is the chairman of BESCO, Bulgarian Startup Association. These are the supermans of our ecosystem. Why? Because they have found the gap, just like a regular startup. They have found the gap in communication and to actually bringing things to life between business sector and government and all government institutions. And they have their success story, and I don't want to waste any more time, but give all the time to Dobry so he can share his experience, and also to use that time to share one of their latest wins in Bulgaria. Hello, Dobry, and welcome to our breakfast.
Thank you. Hi, Mark, and thank you for those words. It's really nice to be here with you. So yeah, I'll share with you the story of BESCO, the Bulgarian Startup Association, what we are doing. We launched BESCO 3 years ago, and the whole team, we are entrepreneurs from the startup community here in Bulgaria. Our story that we were running our own startups. Before BESCO, there were like plenty of organizations that were helping the ecosystem to grow, organizations that were organizing accelerators, pre-accelerators, conferences, events, challenges, and it helped, especially in Sofia, to build quite strong community with entrepreneurs, with investors, and yeah, we were growing. In some specific moment, we realized that actually there are many things that we want to change in our policy and legislative level. So we were skeptical because we believe that our political guys, that they're the bad guys, that we are organizing the business. We don't want to mess with them. But we realize actually that probably we have problems with the corruption. But incompetence is really a huge issue. Sometimes many bad things happen in our country because of actually lack of communication between the business and the government. So The other thing that we saw is that when our government is meeting the business, they're meeting the same five guys, and they say we ask the business, but those five guys they're not actually a representation of the normal entrepreneurs, especially not the startups. And the way we start actually was with inviting people from the institutions, from the government, from the members of the parliament. We start inviting them in the co-working spaces to meet them with entrepreneurs, with startups, and we want to show them another way of doing business in our country. We saw there is some good potential in this, so we gathered like 30 companies, some of the VCs, some of the co-working space, and friends with startups. It was 3 years ago, and we launched the Bulgarian Startup Association with the main main purpose to be the voice of that community to the institutions. We were 30 today. We are more than 500 companies, like most of the startups, the scale-ups, almost every venture capital fund, almost every one of the stakeholders is part of the Startup Association. Something is important is that we are 100% funded by the ecosystem. We never took any public money, no EU money. We are funded with membership fee, and we're fundraising some money from the ecosystem. And this is the way we are totally independent from the institutions. And because everyone was very skeptical, we were challenged many times. Why you're organizing this? Who decided that you are going to be the voice of the community? And we decided that for the first year everything will be voluntary. No one is going to give any money, and we will just prove the concept of what we want to do. So we started asking the companies, okay, what are your problems? What we need to change in Bulgaria to do a better business here? What are the good practices from other countries that it will be good to have it here in Bulgaria? And like in the first weeks, we had more than 200 proposals. We saw that we cannot work on 200 things. So we start exploring the success stories from many other countries, what they did in the last decades and why everyone wants to be there. And we try to gather everything in one vision, that is how to transform the economy of our country into the industries with the high added value based on R&D and innovations with the potential of the global markets, and to separate this in hundreds little steps. So today we start with two specific two specific goals, and today our short list is with 28. That is not so short. The 28 things, they are in 3 directions: access to capital, access to people, and ease of doing business, and the regulations and how to do a better environment for the business here. With the access of the first thing that we started working on was in the area of ease of doing business, and it was creating new kind of legal entity that is solving the problems with vesting, option pools, convertible notes, tag along, drag alongs, and all of that instruments that actually in our legislation here in Bulgaria, they are literally not possible or very hard to implement. So we started this 2 years ago. Probably tomorrow, the final draft of the text will be ready. We had 13 months in different commissions and working groups with many different ministries. So this is how the draft started. Today, our Sofia University, the legal part of the university, they are finalizing the texts because these are like the fathers of our commercial law. And we have the talks with every one of the political parties. You know, next week we have elections. After the elections, everyone is supporting that it should be one of the first things to vote in the next parliament, and it will be the biggest change in our commercial law since its beginning in 1991. The other thing that was one of the first things that we started was the startup visa. It was something important for making easier, fast-track way for attracting foreign entrepreneurs coming outside EU to Bulgaria. It is again, it took 2 years, and again working groups, again commissions, many ministries. It was probably hardest conversations because it's about migrations, and all of the institutions regarding migrations, they're like really tough guys. And 3 weeks ago, the parliament voted the start of visas, so we have it right now in the law. We hope the next week the Minister of Economy will sign the procedure how it is going to work, because we need it also to start working actually. But yeah, the hard thing was going through the parliament, so it was voted 3 weeks ago. And yeah, because we have many other wins, but it was something important because it goes through the whole way, including the parliament, and improve the concept of the way we are working. And right now, we are focused on the changes in the commercial law, and also the next steps are in the direction of access to capital. We are working on reforming our pension funds in the way they will be able to invest in venture capital funds. And also we have a concept for one scheme for incentives of the angel investors. Also for access to the people, we need the startup visa to work, but also we need more developers, more engineers. So we're working for improving the blue card, which is the way they're coming in our country. Right now it costs you like 5 months, which is crazy. We need to shorten this period to like 2 weeks, for example. So we're working for like 12 ideas how we can improve the process there. We are also have like projects for laws for e-government things like e-identity, like the way you can many things concerning e-government. Also we need a faster way here for liquidate your company, more chances for failure, and these are many of the things from our shortlist that we are working on them. And this is the main thing that we are doing. Like before the elections right now, we organized meeting with every of the main political parties. There were open meetings that were streamed in Facebook. Every one of our members was can be part of these meetings to ask the political guys whatever they want to ask them. And we worked like the last half year to put many of the things from our agenda in their agenda before the elections. So we work with everyone. The idea is we are independent. We should be result oriented and work with the institutions, not the names. We just work with everyone. At the beginning, we know literally no one. Like we start mapping who are the decision makers, who are the people that are really important, and we really bottoms up trying to reach them, to meet them. Today it's much easier because most of them knows us. They are open to talk with us, and they're inviting us very often to meetings. So now probably today is easier, but we are doing many things, so it's not so easy. And yeah, this is the main thing that we are doing. The second part of BESCU, we call it functional community, and these are many things that we are doing to support the startups, like things like we are helping them to know each other, to know what they are doing. We are organizing meetups. We have one Discord channel with hundreds of CEOs and founders there. They're helping each other. So these are some normal things that associations are doing. Probably the most interesting part is the policy wording. So this is something that it will be great to share with you, and because as Nato said, we are understanding that we need to change many things in Bulgaria, but we need to change it in the whole region because we need the Balkan region to grow together. And yeah, the experience that we have, we believe it could be useful for the other countries, and for us it will be much better if when we implement something good, we help the other countries to implement it also, and to grow together, because we need to attract like investors and business, and to change the brand of the whole region. So yeah, I'm glad to be here and to share with you something more if you have some questions. So thank you.
Thank you, Dobry. It was impressive, and while you were talking about so many important things you've done, you spoke like you do your breakfast with the children, which is what a good leader do. To speak about big things very ordinarily. So thank you for this presentation. And I have a question for you. Do you have an idea of how actually BESCO can provide service to Serbian entrepreneurs regarding the startup visa and all other projects that you're involved in? Let's talk practically regarding Serbian market and Serbian partners.
Yeah, we can start with some call, for example, to discuss the details because, actually, the team of BESCO, we are 4 people, but we work like with 10 of the biggest low companies in Bulgaria. They're helping us for free because we cannot pay them never. So they're supporting the process. But as you said, like one part of lobbying for that changes is the discussions with the politicians, like meeting them. We can probably help you meet some of the decision makers in your country to tell them, see, Bulgaria did it, we did it that way, it would be great to do it also. But the important part is actually someone to do the hard work, which is writing and organizing everything that's supporting one wall. So this is like hundreds and hundreds of hours, and it's very specific for the country. So probably step 1 is just organize some call to talk about what the situation there, then organize many other calls and to involve some legal guys with us because it's really a legal topic. We're business guys, we are entrepreneurs, so our background is mainly in sales, so we know how to sell the idea. But after we sell it, someone needs to do actually everything that has to be done. We can start with some call for this topic.
Boyan, I have a question for you too, guys. Do you find applicable or useful some formation similar to BESCO to build bridges in your ecosystem, or you have found a way to do it without this kind of organization? What do you think?
Of course, it was great initiatives and of course great presentation and very important for some of future steps within the Serbian ecosystem. It's also important to say that STP as network, because of its founders, and one of the founders is Ministry of Education. So we have close cooperation for these activities, and of course we participated and successfully changed some legal procedures when it comes to the faster export or faster import activities for the hardware companies. So, for example, with 2 different verticals for these health tech and medtech companies, and as well as for the electronic companies. Also, it's important to say that now, after our meetings and workshops with the decision makers, they can now import faster than before some of the elements for their development. For example, some electronic devices than before. So also same is for the some startups in health tech and medtech industry. And also I have mentioned these incentives and let's say tax breaks, and also I can send you via email short brochure about the incentives and about some things that is mostly connected with accounting things for the companies to help in the early stage, or to help R&D companies and companies that are developing some technology to have let's say lower costs. That was the direction of the Serbian government in the previous period. But now, of course, these initiatives for the startup visa and different kinds of course we have partners across the globe. So startup visa as initiative is now trendy in several ecosystems. So it's also important step for the us in the future, as attracting for the talent, of course.
So you still don't have startup visa, right?
No, we don't have it. We don't have it.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yes, I just wanted to add, of course, these examples that colleague presented us, it's very important for Serbia, and of course we can learn a lot from your experience, because it's as I, and of course as I know and as we know, it's very extensive and let's say a long process. It's not only long, it's a process that needs a lot of energy and passion to bring it to reality, because all the stakeholders and all the let's say formal and informal barriers towards it, and of course sometimes you attract several different laws and different frameworks, legal frameworks that take time to change it in the future. And that know-how is very important, and of course we can speak in the future more about that.
Yes, Bojan. This is just the start of our long-term conversation. Let's now go to the next part of our Grow Balkan Breakfast, which would include all of our registered participants. And I'll give the floor to anybody who would like to ask questions to our members and our participants. Please use the feature of raising hands, which is on the lower right corner of your screen, and we'll follow up with that, and we will answer questions regarding your endeavor, your business, or your project. So whoever is the first one, please, the floor is yours. Anybody in our discussion panel? There are many people part in this event, but probably we have covered most of the topics that we discussed about. Companies are really interested in expanding. What we have actually done is we did small research. Yeah, Mr. Schiller has raised hand. Mr. Schiller, are you able to turn your camera on or just voicing? Yeah, Mr. Schiller?
Oh, there it is. I think you can hear me now. Yeah, this startup visa is awesome. I think it's really great. You guys have worked hard on it. What do you think the timeline is? When can I start pitching this to all my friends to come to wonderful Bulgaria?
I think that question is for me. So thank you for your words. So our goal is this government will be like till the 3rd or the 4th week of April. They will be there. So our goal is the current Minister of Economy to sign it. That means if we achieve it, it will be next month. It will be signed. So the project of the whole idea is that it will be an online process through, we believe it should be through F6S, because many startup visas using F6S, they're ready to give the platform immediately. So if they agree with this idea, it could happen like literally in hours or days after they sign it. We can put the application there and it can start working. But this is the way we see it. In reality, working with institutions, they always can mess something. So no, we will push for this. Tomorrow we have a talk with the team of the Ministry of Economy that they had to approve the process, and then the minister to sign it. So if you want, I can write you tomorrow after the meeting to tell you actually what they're saying. And yeah, the way we're pushing is by the end of April to work. In reality, it can always be some kind of problem. So we hope it will happen next month.
Thank you, Dobry.
Yeah.
Mr. Schiller, is that answer satisfactory for you? What I was
I had to apply for a visa years ago. I've been living here for almost 5 years. and it wasn't that complicated, for me to, you have to give them all kinds of paperwork, but it wasn't that complicated. So hopefully the startup visa won't be more complicated than a normal come here for a year visa.
Yeah, so with the institutions, their idea is when it launched and when we prove that it's something good, they will start improving the process because we believe that it could be much easier. And the idea is we start with something, and they said they're ready to improve it in time. So yeah, the idea that it starts, it's not the final step. We have to work on this like in the next months and to prove that actually it's useful, that it works, that and to work actually it's not only having it. We need to promote it. We need to build another things to be more attractive. So it's not like the final step in any way. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dobry. And while we are waiting for the next, is this all your questions, Mr. Schiller?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you too. Long time no see, by the way. We have to get together soon, so we have a lot to share. Yeah. Well, we're waiting for the next question in our session. I was just going to mention that we did small research before organizing this event, so to discover more what actually Bulgarian companies are interested in Serbian market, and two major responses came in that actually companies are interested in Serbian market in general, and they are looking for Serbian partners. And talking about this, I'm really glad that Mr. Angelov also joined our conversation, because this is the mission of these trade offices of Trade and Economic Affairs within our Ministry of External Affairs. So basically, this is one very important and very not that probably famous and popular direction that Bulgarian companies can go through. But Mr. Angelov has confirmed that actually their main goal is really to be there for our Bulgarian businesses. And while we're talking about this, some businesses are really interested to open market in Serbia, to find partners there, to deliver their solutions and their products to Serbian users and Serbian market in general. So Mr. Angelov is also at our service, and Sofia Tech Park, as our role, is also here to contribute and to actually facilitate this networking. So we're not only talking about the things should be done, but we are trying our best to do the things that needs to be done. So any other questions in?
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Mariov, can I?
Yes, please.
Thank you for raising this topic. Yes, first one clarification: the Office for Trade and Economic Affairs is part of the Ministry of Economy, as I said it earlier. It's not part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and our main goal is to, as I said, and also in my presentation, the idea is to help Bulgarian companies popularize here on the Serbian market, and at the same time help also Serbian companies that are interested into accessing the Bulgarian market to connect them with the interested parties that are in Bulgaria, find partners, and at the same time here the Bulgarian companies collaboration together with the Serbian authorities. We are preparing different ways of popularizing and finding the necessary partners that they're looking for. So, as I said it also earlier, any interested companies from Bulgaria that want to come to the Serbian market, to feel free to contact me, and I can assist them in any way to see how they can thing here to develop their business ideas. At the same time, me as a representative of our Ministry of Economy and our colleagues from the different services as the small and medium enterprises and also as the Bulgarian Investment Agency, we are here and I represent them to be able to help all the companies that are interested in developing their ideas here and also in Bulgaria, the Serbian companies to find the necessary partners. In general, as I said, it's to develop our trade relations, our economic relations, flourish with neighboring countries. We are with the same mentality, as I said. And as you mentioned also, Mr. Marinov, it's good for our region to develop too close together because separately we are small markets, but together we can make and achieve a lot bigger things. So I just wanted to state this. Thank you.
Yes, and giving that practical example with the banica we have here as a Balkan breakfast, let's all try that we don't take all pieces and split the pieces for the banica, but put all our efforts to make the banica bigger.
Or to make more banicas.
So, yeah, I'm very positive on this event and really thankful to all the participants that raised very valuable and very important matters and topics. Thank you for all the participants. The record is already there on Facebook, streamed live, and we are already preparing the next edition of the Grow Breakfast, which is also going to be very important and very interesting. Appears that this actually format is very interesting, so we are going to elaborate on it further. Thank you, Mr. Angelov. Thank you, Mr. Ivanov. Thank you also, Mr. Stefanov, here at the studio in Sofia Tech Park. We are almost at the end of our Grow Balkan Breakfast. And what else left to do is to eat the banica, to have the breakfast. Bojan, are you ready for? Is there's somebody in the?
Yes, I think Mr. Mladenov raised hand. Yes.
Okay, I missed that. Sorry. Yeah, Mr. Mladenov.
Thank you, Mark. I'll just keep you for a few more seconds. A bit hungry, but just to wrap up a few sentences exactly. Thank you very much for this great opening of our collaboration with our Serbian friends and especially those in Belgrade. I just wanted to suggest. So for our next event, for example, I have an issue that would like to talk a little bit more with the guys from Belgrade and probably next time with the guys from Niš and Čačak about the issues that are coming with for the, let's say, for the Serbian small and medium enterprises when they're dealing with R&D, but using, let's say, the support of university or some other institutions that are providing R&D services for them. So this is something that we are very interested in, and we would like to share in our meeting few more knowledge and a little bit more knowledge and best practices about how you or we are encouraging those SMEs actually to use the R&D infrastructure that is based within the country. So this is something that is very interesting. So you might consider it for our next event. So thank you very much for your time and participation in the event. Give my best regards to Gordana, and we are looking forward to our next meeting on both sides in Sofia or in Belgrade. Thank you. Have a great day.
Mladenov. And now let's go back to to the Banica and our final conclusion. I hope Bojan is also ready with some breakfast on his side. Are you, Bojan?
Yes, I'm here. It is
okay.
pastry,
Nice.
yogurt, and yes.
Okay.
Ready.
This is something that we have to elaborate more because food makes people closer. So yeah, like the Balkans do, you know. Probably Scandinavians will not understand it now, but we know it. So yeah, thank you very much for all your participation, the kind words, the opportunities we will lay ahead in front of us, and also let's finish with eating the Banica. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day. Please follow our channels on Facebook and YouTube. Looking forward for the next events, and see you. Thank you.
See you. Thank you. Staying in touch.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Da, mersi.
Why